Hey Dole, Merry Dole, my friends! Welcome to another Troopers video. You with Thighs, and we're exploring the third installment of the reward track. We're going to be doing so on the Treebeard server. Before we get hasty, I should mention that being on a legendary server means our resources, NPCs, and game rules are somewhat different to live. In this video, we will show the rewards available on the track and go over the best current methods to obtain them. But first, let's talk about exactly what the reward track is. The track came about as a laggard part of the legendary item overhaul. SSG changed the old system of continuous farming for empowerment scrolls, starlit crystals, item XP, and other similarly grindy items to create powerful weapons that you would then destroy and remake every expansion in much the same fashion. With the overhaul, we only have to commit to this process 3 times, at 45 entry to Moria, level 86 and level 131. The reward track is SSG's answer to a season pass loot system. However, this one is free and is needed by most lower level characters after they complete the Moria introduction quest. As of the second track, it has flavor stuff like emotes and cosmetics, but most importantly, it has gold, traceries, and ancient script. Ancient script is the currency needed for your weapon building, and traceries add the stats and skill modifications. To access the reward track in-game, you must press Shift I, rebind other keys, or change the display icons like the 5 that are assigned to extra bags that are not needed. Also, you must have completed the Moria introductory quest line. You may need to restart the game immediately after having done so. The past 2 tracks have been very limited on their script and gold traceries, the most important resource for your legendary items. It can be difficult for people without alts if you don't have the time to complete level 100 on the track. If you have alts, there typically hasn't been enough resources to kit out each character. I'm hoping that this time around we'll continue above level 100, giving more fun stuff and also more opportunities for currency and gold traceries. I would also like a true season style, allowing people to be able to return to the past reward tracks and complete them. This can be done similarly to the anniversary vendor. Another missed opportunity, at least in my reckoning, is the uselessness of the Lothlorien and Moria medallions. Here on the Treebeard servers, we have been locked to 60 for 6 months, and now we are at 65 for another 6 months. This has led most of us to have an abundance of these medallions with no meaningful way to use them except to trade them for level 85 IXP runes. We won't see level 85 for another 10 months, rendering these useless for almost a year. It would be nice to see an avenue open up, enabling us to spend them in a similar fashion to the tokens gotten from Enhancement, which is also level 65 content. Naturally, I don't expect any of this to happen, however. Now, working within the context of Treebeard, there's a more limited range of methods to grind the experience needed for the reward tracks, and we won't be covering methods that may be available on live servers that aren't yet on Treebeard. With that out of the way, the best method for the previous 2 reward tracks was to get a character to exactly level 45 and turn off experience before completing the Moria intro quest, then giving that 45 IXP to consume. We will be working under the assumption that this is still the best method, and we'll test this assumption later on in the video. If you want to skip through the video, click on the card that I'll put here. The reason for this is that when you consume IXP, it gives a certain number of contribution points to the track. The amount of points is dictated by the difference between your level and the minimum level requirement for the IXP. What that means is that a level 45 consuming IXP with a minimum level of 45 will get significantly more progress than a level 60 with the same item. As you can see, a level 45 only needs 6.86 million IXP to complete the track, compared to the 17.9 million needed by someone at level 60. In summary, a level 45 will complete the track about 3 times faster than a level 60. In pursuit of this method, here are some ways to obtain that sweet IXP. One method is questing through Enhancement at level 60 to 65. It should be possible to even start as low as 50, but probably far more difficult. Completing this area will give you tokens of the wild, which are barterable and can be used to purchase runes that are each worth 20,000 IXP. This means you would only need 343 of these, or 3,430 tokens sent to your level 45 to complete the track. The next method is repeatable daily and requires you to go to the Moria resource instances. There are 6 of these in total, 2 for scholars, 2 for prospectors, and 2 for foresters. You don't need to be the correct profession or any profession to access these instances. Each instance has 3 quests associated with it, accessed directly outside the entrance, and each gives 1 Iron Garrison resource token. You need 6 tokens for 127,000 IXP rune. This means you can get 81,000 IXP per character per day by doing all 6 of these instances. Using this method, it would take 82.5 days to complete your track if you were only doing these dailies on 1 character. Now, keep in mind that SSG has changed the track to allow mob kills to contribute to it. Quests also give you IXP and will likewise be contributing. So time estimates should be shorter in practice than in theory. With that in mind, a third method is also possible. Find a location, instance quest, or some other area where you can get mobs to respawn really quickly. All you have to do at that point is just grind them. This method feels slow to me, but it has another advantage. If those mobs have drops, you can get higher level resources, crafting scrolls, teal drop gear like Spy Heal, and essences, which are hot on the market at the moment thanks to these babies, the Lash and the Bell. Before these, the best way to farm IXP was instances. However, SSG has reduced the IXP runes available in volume and value, with the new standard being 1 to 2 runes worth 2,000 IXP apiece. This has rendered it a much less effective method of grinding your track than other options mentioned. Now, the good part. Now, to test if the level 45 method still works, let's spend some IXP. First, the pre-start check. Make sure you've spent all your current currencies that are available from the reward track if you intend to max it out in day 1. Otherwise, just pay close attention as to not waste any of your currencies. Also, if you are only after gold traceries, don't skip the seasonal events Thrain and Storvagen. Both of these have a quest for a multi-day completion to earn gold traceries. Look for the quests at the event locations like the Party Tree and the Yule locations. The moment of truth. Do we make level 100? Yes, absolutely. We've made 100. So the rule is true, or remains to be true. You'll want to use your IXP on a level 45, and you will use that 6.8 million IXP and level to 100 directly. Now I'll alt and accept my rewards on another character. Alright, now this is the complete set of rewards other than the repeatable at 101. If we look here, we have decorated Coffer of Ancient Script times 16. We have embellished Coffer of Ancient Script times 8. We have uncommon enhancement runes times 8. These come in times 4 per one, so there's 32. Rare Enhancement runes times 12, so same thing again, times 4. Incomparable Enhancement runes times 12, but this time it's times 3 per one, so 36. Legendary Enhancement runes times 11. Rare Sealed Tracery times 12. Incomparable Sealed Traceries. We get 9 of them. Incomparable Tracery tokens times 4. Legendary Sealed Tracery times 3. And Legendary Tracery tokens by 3. Sealed of Chest of Embers and Figments times 4. Incomparable Coffer of Craft 2. Incomparable Coffer of Heraldry and 1 of those. Coffer of the Cook, 1 of those. We have Legendary Coffer of the Black Bat, and we have Legendary Coffer of the Painted Steed, and we have Legendary Coffer of the Silven Hunter. Alright, now we're going to look at the individual boxes. So over here we have the Incomparable Coffer of Heraldry, we have the Incomparable Coffers of Craft, we have the Painted Steed, the Cook, the Black Bat, the Silven Hunter, and this is a sealed chest of Embers and Figments. We're not going to do that. We're going to put that one back. Alright, and so we're going to open up these ones here and check out what's inside. Interesting. So the Silven Hunter gave us a quiver and a Tracery token. So a legendary Tracery token. So it's a bonus one. This is what the Silven Hunter cosmetic looks like. Let's see what's next. Open up the legendary coffer of the Black Bat. That has given us another bonus Tracery token, a legendary Tracery token, and it's given us a Summonal Black Bat. And there's our bat flying around. Cool. This is the legendary Painted Steed pack. It has also given us enhancement runes. It's also given us another legendary token, just like the bats did. We have a pot and skillet as yard furniture. And so that concludes all the little legendary packs. Now we're going to move on to the Incomparable Coffer of Craft. We open that up. It's given us some Tracery tokens here, Incomparable, and some more Embellished Coffer Ancient Scripts. It's also given us a level 131 Gundabad Craft Recipe Selection box. Alright, so quite clearly that is very much useless to people on Treebeard, unless you think waiting several years to use it is reasonable. Now opening up another craft, and it's the same thing. Alright, and then we're going to open up this one here, Incomparable Coffer of Heraldry. That's given us a sealed legendary Tracery, so that's interesting. Alright. But it has also given us a Gundabad Heraldry Recipe Selection box at level 131, which is only useful for Gundabad and very much not useful for right now. That concludes all the loot. Alright, so from opening the special one-off boxes, I've managed to obtain 2,000 ancient script. There is 8,000 script in total from the decorated coffer of ancient scripts and the embellished coffers of ancient script. So in total, 10,000 ancient script from the reward track, a couple of cosmetic, a mount and a pet. And the rest just seems like the typical stuff that we've received from the previous reward tracks. So nothing too different except for the crafting items, which are cool and all, but utterly worthless for anyone on a legendary server. And that's pretty standard of SSG to not consider us at all. In conclusion, while the seasonal pass system has shown to be very effective in other games, the current implementation in LOTRO lacks a balance between the number of traceries and ancient scripts, and the lack of replayability makes it very disappointing for people trying to gear more than one character. If they increase the number of ancient scripts to better reflect the tens of thousands needed to fully gear just one character, then they could have a really nice system that rewards the work you put into it. Furthermore, if they buff the repeatable cap on the track to provide more script, it would greatly incentivize grinding it out for ults. Critiques aside, some of the things that they are doing well so far are the broadening from exclusively legendary items being on the track and the addition of some fun little cosmetics. Woe is me. Can't you just leave me to my misery?